Today is day 3, so we are going to increase the difficulty level of the painting challenge. We are going to paint a beautiful coconut tree with serene seascape. Though it might seem a little difficult for now, but I am pretty sure that as you paint along, you'll be able to get it completely right. I took titanium white and cobalt blue. I'm making lighter shade of blue by adding a bit of white. And I'm blocking my sky part. I'm putting this blue where the darkest part of my sky is, and I'm seeing my reference picture to figure out where the clouds are placed and how my sky is looking. As I move ahead, I'm adding more of white to block the full sky. I think the painting should work till the sky should work till this point. This is my horizon line. I'm mixing darks and light shades of blue, but not blending here. Wherever there light color, I'm just adding lighter shade of blue, not too much light, but sort of medium blues. Now when I'm putting light, I want my brush to be cleaner. So earlier I had used darker color and now I'm using lighter shade, and my brush should be bit more cleaner. Here also, though I'm putting color, you can see that I am not blending much. My brush strokes are visible. I like the difference in the colors which are visible in the painting when you are doing this style of brush strokes. It is more of a stylistic preference. If you want to blend, you can go ahead and do the blending. I like bigger, chunky brush strokes visible in my paintings. They are just more fun, I feel. Now, where I'm feeling that the colors are lighter or darker, I'm just giving the finishing touches. Not exactly finishing touches, but just filling up the area and adding a bit of movement in my painting with whitish tone. So what we are doing here is we are building up layers in the painting. I think this is good enough. Let it dry a little bit more and then we'll add more white. I'm working with the colors of sand. I took ochre color and white. I mixed it up and I'm figuring out the color which I'm liking more. My brush does have a little bit of blue in it, but I'm not worried much about that. I'm trying the color out on a different paper and I feel that it's good enough, so I am going ahead. I had also added a little bit of yellow just for the brightness of the color. You can still see a bluish tone coming out of my brush on paper, but I am completely fine with it because sand is not that clear all the time, so it's fine. In these kind of paintings you can add as much detail as you want, but as I said that I have a stylistic preference, so I like those chonky brush strokes. Here I just added a bit of white to give uh, a little bit depth and to show that unevenness of the sand. Now I am taking blue and white and the color which I had mixed to create the greens for the sea and see if it's working out. And it was not giving me that bright green, so I added lemon yellow to it and a little bit of white. I think this works, this looks nice. Now let's add sea part. This is always fun. When I went to Philippines, this was the exact view which we got. I think this one is little bit darker. um, I need a little bit, so for the color I'm saying that this looks a little bit darker. I think I would like lighter tone. So for that I'm adding a little bit more of white, and I got the lighter shade. Here also I'm not like fully blending in because lines in the sea looks make it more real. And now I'm taking a bit of blue, direct blue, and pushing it from the corner part. And again few lines here and there from point of my brush. I think I like it. I'll stick for with this for now. I'll add more details later. Now we can go back to the cloud part. That part is dried up. So I'm adding more white. And again, not blending, just doing dab dab dab. Wherever I feel there are more clouds. I think I like it. Again, let it dry a bit. I took a touch of black with my blue, mixing it up for the background mountains. I'm adding the mountains. They are in background, so they are much thin, and I'm using 1 number brush here, round brush. You can also use a little bit bigger brush if you want to, and you can increase the size of mountains also. So it is completely dependent on you. Don't think that your reference photograph is the exact thing which you need to paint. You can always tweak a few things here and there, and your painting will still work out. For some people I feel uh, this stage can also be a finished piece, so you can also keep it as finished piece. Just add a little bit more depth for the sand part, and I think you will be good to go. But for now it's our turn to create the tree. For tree I'm using ochre color again because it's already in my palette. I'm adding a bit of black in my ochre to make a darker shade. This is becoming a little green. I can add red uh, with burnt sienna. Here I have crimson red. I'm adding it here because black and red makes a brown. So ochre, black and red. Now I took a bit of white to make a lighter shade. Now I'm going in for the tree part. You can always sketch it out with the pencil. I'm too used to doing it with brush directly, so I'm doing it with brush. You can go ahead with pencil. Uh, there is no right and wrong way of doing these things. You could have actually sketched it out in the beginning also, but this is a follow along, and I wanted to show how I do it um, when I'm painting. So I thought that let's do it this way. Now I'm making a little bit lighter color here by adding a bit of white and just putting it on the one side of the tree to give highlight. Took the dark color again and creating a line on the opposite side of the highlight because it's a shadow. That part of the tree is coming on the shadow side. So we are adding darker shade there. Okay, nice. Now we'll go with the green. I'm really fond of sap green color, so that's the color we are picking up. Now for the darker shade, I'll take a bit of black with the sap. I'm using my 1 number brush and adding a touch of black with sap, mixing it up. Now for the tree part, here I am showing on a rough page. First you have to create lines correctly. So your line should go in all the angles for the leaves of the tree. These lines looks like firecrackers in the sky. Right now my lines are looking a little bit dried, so I add a bit of water. When your brush is not going very smoothly, you can change the quantity of water and see, you can see there is a difference in the line. I just added very less water in my brush. Now I'm feeling that I'm khatro ke khiladi and I'm directly doing it on my paper. If you are not comfortable with it, don't worry about it. You can use your pencil, you can use your micron pen or other pen to do it. There is no right or wrong in these kind of things. You just need to understand how does the coconut tree look like and feel like, and that's how you will add the base of these coconut branches. No, I think these are leaves only, leaves. And then you need to add few lines to fill up these leaves. I'm also not going for each and every line correctly, and I'm not looking at the reference photograph itself. I'm just adding lines on my baseline which I've created in a way that it looks like a coconut branch, or again leaf it is. We'll go with leaf. Okay, just like this. Can you see how I'm doing it? Automatically you have nice leaf. I'm still getting confused between branch or the tree, branch or leaf. What should I call it? But I'm going with big leaf. You just have to place lines on your base lines in one direction. If you just observe how I'm doing it, you'll definitely get how you can move ahead in your painting. This is the same color, but it's looking a little bit dark, I think. It is because of water. Sometimes because of difference in water, difference in pigment, the colors tend to look dark and light. I think it's giving a good contrast, so I'm keeping it that way. If you just put some music on and create these lines, I think it will be really therapeutic thing to do. I'm just adding darks in few part of the tree now. Again, not filling everything up, just here and there a bit of dark shade, because of light and shadow, there are few parts which will be visible darker than others, and there will be few parts which will be visible lighter than others. First I was being very careful with my lines, and now I think it's fine. I can add a bit more. It will still look like a coconut tree. Actually, that's the fun of stylistic uh, work, where you don't fuzz about each and every line. You don't need to go realistic all the time. But I bet this will look still a lot realistic. Now I'll take yellow color, lemon yellow, and add it with the sap green to make lighter shade of the green. And as I said, the highlights will be different, so I'm adding those lighter shades and on the leaves, and it's just giving highlights and more freshness to our tree. I'm really fond of this green color. And I'm not putting this green everywhere. If you see, again, I'm just putting here and there some parts which is visible, and I'm not like covering everything with this lighter shade. I think it's nice, but I'll add a little bit more. For that, I'll add yellow again with the color so that it creates a lighter shade, and then again I'm adding few lines. You can get really stuck in this part, okay? So just try not to overdo it and go back to the shadow part of the overall tree. So for that, I took the tree color itself and added more white. See, it brought the painting to life. When you're working with the shadows, you don't need to overwork with this stuff. You can just create dashes and lines like this, and it will take care of itself. I'm not trying to do a lot here, and this will still feel like the shadow. Not much of detail, just dash, 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 and spidery coconut tree. And see, it sort of worked out, right? Now, the other part, in the reference photograph, there is like more shadow and more bushes, which I'm adding. Again, this could have been the final picture. You don't need to add other trees also. One tree and one shadow would be enough if you just feel like it, or you can go ahead with me. I added more shadows. Now, since I've added more shadows, I think I'll need to add a bit of bushes also, otherwise, it will feel really awkward in the painting. I think here there is a different grass, so I'm taking the darkest green and just adding a bit of grass on my sand with the shadow part. We can add a bit of trees also for just showcasing that there are other trees also. We don't need to do it. But I think I got too excited and I felt like painting ahead, so I did that also. You can stop at coconut tree and the shadow also. To balance out, I added the leaves on the other side also. This is such a fun painting to do. Again, I'm not creating each and every leaf, just dot dot. Now, very light color of the shadow color, very watery. I'm taking and I'm making again dashes, bigger ones, so that the sand looks like it has been walked on. I'm not overdoing it. I'm just putting shades with the dash. Walking on the beach, it should feel like somebody has walked on the beach. Just very watery color I'm putting, and not a lot of details. I think I don't mind this painting now. It's looking very pretty. And it's done.